I'm Megan Skidmore, and welcome to the Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. I'm a woman, daughter, sister, spouse, mother, life coach, and person of faith on a mission to normalize asking questions and allowing doubts on a faith journey and all aspects of life. Join me as I bring this traditionally taboo topic out of the shadows of shame and into the light. I firmly believe we normalize through more talking and engaging in discussion. More talking peels back, exposes, and erases the layers of shame associated with asking questions and allowing doubts. When we are more authentic about our journey, we are more powerful because shame has no power in the face of authenticity. Hopeful Spaces is a Dallas Hope Charities component of Hopeful Discussions, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz Financial Services USA. It's a free monthly parent, ally, or caregiver support group facilitated by Megan Skidmore Coaching. Email chc@dallashopecharities.org for more info. First Friday's free coaching, a confidential group to bring all the questions, vent frustrations, share fears, express doubts. Navigating a new and uncertain reality is hard enough. Let's remove the worry of judgment from others. In this group, I will help you help yourself so that you can be there for your child, family, loved ones, and for you too. Click the link in the show notes to sign up. You must complete the agreement. Welcome, everyone, to the Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast. My apologies to those of you who are subscribers or automatically download the episodes as they release and woke up to a blank episode. I do this myself. I'm a DIYer podcaster, and so I preset these to release, and I accidentally selected the wrong date for this one. So it's a little B- work, and I am A-okay with B- work. That is what gets things done. So anyway, on to today's episode. We all know the story of Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. We've all read it, had it read to us. And we know who Sam I Am was. He was a persistent character who made all the invitations to the main Seuss character, the furry creature guy, that they just try these green eggs and ham, that they knew they would like them. Over and over and over again, these invitations were made, and they were rather insistent ones. And the classic furry character was adamant time and time again that no, they absolutely were not going to try them. They didn't even like them. For those of you who haven't read the book, spoiler alert, the creature, the furry Seuss character, ended up changing their mind, trying the green eggs and ham and liking green eggs and ham, and was willing to eat them everywhere. Today I'm talking about changing our minds. This was something that was posed to me recently, and it's been on my mind. George Bernard Shaw famously said, "Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." I like that. I found an article written by Dr. Grant Muddle, who is acknowledged internationally for healthcare leadership and balancing community expectations with commercial realities, said, in reference to Shaw's words, he said, "Shaw's words are a powerful reminder of the importance of adaptability and flexibility in achieving progress. If we are not willing to change our minds, to let go of old ideas and beliefs, and be open to new possibilities, we risk becoming stagnant and obsolete," end quote. And I'll leave the source in the show notes. Who knows for how many days, weeks, months, and possibly even years that young Rosa Parks boarded a bus and took her, quote, appointed, end quote, seat in the back, until one day she changed her mind. She decided to sit in the front, and so she did. Even when ordered to move to the back of the bus by the driver, she did not give up her seat in the front. That single event began a movement of change, progress, and growth that continues to this day. I read an amazing article that was published by the BBC written by Claudia Hammond. It's called The Surprising Reason People Change Their Minds. And she says, research suggests that we can let go of our opinions, and that opposition can even turn into acceptance. For decades, she continues, research on confirmation bias has shown that we are more likely to look out for, notice, and remember anything that confirms opinions we already hold. For instance, she says, if you like drinking wine, you're more likely to remember the occasional studies which find a benefit from alcohol than the research on its risks. She continues, our brains are also faster at processing opinions we agree with. For a while, we have known that if you give people a list of factually incorrect sentences, they take longer to find grammatical errors than if the statements are true. So if the statement is, quote, soft soap are edible, they'll take more time to spot the mistake in the grammar because the meaning is also inaccurate. The same happens with opinions. Researchers at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem recently gave people statements like, I believe the internet makes people more sociable, or I believe the internet makes people more isolated. Once again, participants had to judge whether the sentence was grammatically correct. They took longer to decide if they disagreed with the opinion. And she surmises, without us even being aware of it, our opinions can override our automatic responses, end quote. This point is super important. This example demonstrates how deeply ingrained our opinions are. And incidentally, opinions are another word for our beliefs or our thoughts. This is why having a life coach in your life is so unbelievably helpful. I personally think it's essential. It is harder for us to catch thought errors or ways of thinking that are not serving us and, in fact, may cause us harm or pain. And this is exactly what I help my clients with, increasing awareness of their thoughts and beliefs and opinions. And so why is this relevant? You cannot choose or not choose to change something you're not aware of and that you are not actively looking to understand from another viewpoint, something about which you don't see a problem or a need for additional information, i.e., you are happy with the opinions that already confirm yours. So in other words, to go back to the wine example, you are happy with the research that speaks to the benefits and not likely to focus on or dig deeper into the studies that mention the risks. So to go back to Claudia Hammond's article, I quote, all of this would suggest that we hold our opinions dear. This is true, but it doesn't mean those opinions are fixed forever. We are more fickle than we think. And then she goes on to share some fascinating studies on the San Francisco ban on the use of plastic water bottles and public opinions before and after, and the ban on smoking in parks and restaurant patios in Ontario. I highly recommend this short read, and I'll leave a link in the show notes. So what am I saying here? That our thoughts, and I'll add our feelings, are not facts. They are information, but they are not factual. They don't have to control you. They don't need to drive the bus, but you do have to be the one to take away the keys to the bus, so to speak. And this is true in all of our relationships with parents, siblings, children, spouses, coworkers, loved ones. And this also applies to the relationships that we have with larger bodies like institutions, companies, organizations, religions, and political entities as well. We get to define those relationships by taking back the keys, the wheel, the seat, and driving the bus. And sometimes that means we look at the map and recalibrate, take a different course, go a different direction, and change our minds. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The word transform is taken from the roots trans, which means across, through, or on the other side of, and form, which means shape. So according to the Cambridge Dictionary, it means to change completely the appearance or character of something or someone, especially so that that thing or person is improved. Another word for transform is metamorphose, or to go through metamorphosis. Then renew, taken from the verse in Romans, renew means give fresh life or strength to, revive, or replace something that's worn out or broken. That's taken from Oxford. All of this to say, it is okay to change your mind. It is at the core of all progress, macro and micro, both individual and the collective we, our spiritual, our mental, emotional, intellectual, and physical progress. It is this continually reinventing and redefining ourselves, aligning with the course that is for us, the one that draws us closer to the divine. I would love to know your thoughts on this episode. If you'd like to share them, please shoot me an email, hello@meganskidmorecoaching.com. Thank you so much for joining me and being here. Until next time. Beyond the Shadow of Doubt podcast is a proud member of the Dialogue Podcast Network, which is part of the Dialogue Journal found at dialoguejournal.com. Founder Eugene England was a Mormon writer, teacher, and scholar who wrote, "My faith encourages my curiosity and awe. It thrusts me out into relationship with all creation and encourages me to enter into dialogue. My hope is that this podcast is an extension of that vision." Visit meganskidmorecoaching.com to find this podcast and additional free resources, including the link for a complimentary coaching session. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram for more, or to send me a DM. Help the podcast grow. Please follow, review, and share with a friend.